In Module 6, we will be discussing creating an XML document. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. It is a text-based markup language derived from Standard Generalized Markup Language, SGML. XML tags identify the data and are used to store and organize the data, rather than specifying how to display it like HTML tags, which are used to display the data. XML is not going to replace HTML in the near future, but it introduces new possibilities by adopting many successful features of HTML. There are three important characteristics of XML that make it useful in a variety of systems and solutions. XML is extensible. XML allows you to create your own self-descriptive tags or language that suits your application. XML carries the data, it does not present it. XML allows you to store the data irrespective of how it will be presented. XML is a public standard. XML was developed by an organization called the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, and is available as an open standard. XML is a markup language that defines sets of rules for encoding documents in a format that is both human-readable and machine-readable. So what exactly is a markup language? Markup is information added to a document that enhances its meaning in certain ways, in that it identifies the parts and how they relate to each other. More specifically, a markup language is a set of symbols that can be placed in the text of a document to demarcate and label the parts of that document. This means entities are the placeholders in XML. These can be declared in the document prologue or in a DTD. There are different types of entities, and this chapter will discuss character entity. Both the HTML and the XML have some symbols reserved for their use, which cannot be used as content in XML code. For example, greater than and less than signs are used for opening and closing XML tags. To display these special characters, the character entities are used. There are a few special characters or symbols which are not available to be typed directly from the keyboard. Character entities can be used to display those symbols or special characters also. HTML limitations. HTML doesn't include mechanisms for maintaining fine control. A web designer can't specify the display size of a document or control the size of a browser window. Although HTML 4.0 includes tags to help a web designer manipulate font style, size, and color, users can override these settings with their own. HTML consists of a closed and predefined tag set. That is, both the tag semantics and the tag set are fixed. For example, H1 is always a first-level heading, and the tag is meaningless. HTML cannot display data in multiple formats. Therefore, a web designer should try every available browser, for example Netscape, Internet Explorer, Mosaic, Hotjava, Mozilla, and Opera, and on every platform, WebTV, PDA, Personal Data Assistant like Palm Pilot, PC, Mac, etc. It is impossible to know exactly which browser and platform are being used to view web pages. XML is a language that separates the data from the presentation of the data. This means that the form and the content of the data are separate, unlike in the current languages. This makes the data more easily understood by a person reading the data, since the tags are meaningful. It allows data to be shared across platforms and across agencies and institutions. For example, some industries are developing standards of their own, so that any store in that industry will all use the same tags. For instance, say the jewelry industry wanted a huge database to know what every store had in stock. With standard XML, this would be possible, and all the store's data could be read in the same way by all of the other stores. There would be no problem sharing information. In this way, XML is a kind of universal translator that immediately lets people of different languages communicate seamlessly with each other. XML was created so that richly structured documents could be used over the web. The other alternatives, such as HTML and SGML, are not sufficient for this purpose. XML is a tool that gives designers more control over the look of their pages while rendering data more comprehensible and useful. However, the main problem now is that there is only one browser that is fully compliant, Mozilla. So it is hard to construct documents in XML for the web. However, that is expected to change shortly. XML exists because HTML was successful. Therefore, XML incorporates many successful features of HTML. XML also exists because HTML could not live up to new demands. Therefore, XML breaks new ground where it is appropriate. It is difficult to change a successful technology like HTML, so not surprisingly, XML has raised some level of controversy. Let's make it clear. XML is unlikely to replace HTML in the near or medium term. XML does not threaten the web, but introduces new possibilities. Work is already underway to combine XML and HTML in XHTML, an XML version of HTML. At the time of this writing, XHTML version 1.0 is not finalized yet. However, it is expected that XHTML will soon be adopted by the W3C.